Howdy team, today we're going to do Access Chapter 1. I've got my folder open with my Access files, and you'll notice the little A by the red icon is our Access file. The two green X's, those are Excel files that we'll import, and the blue file that has a little W by it is a Word document or an instruction file. I'd like to just talk about opening Access for a second. I usually like to download the raw file. It may have your last name here, but I suggest renaming files, saving them again, and then keeping that raw file in case you need to do the assignment over. So I'm going to go ahead and open Access by double-clicking it, and you can see that Access already starts with Enable Content. This is a safeguard. Access is a database. It's a running program. Whatever antivirus software you're running, it is going to want to block it. So we need to tell that our computer and our antivirus that, hey, this access is okay because it is from our textbook. We not only want to enable content, but I'm going to walk you through file save asing again so you can understand what we need to do to save the product safely. If you have a pen drive, you want to save everything into a folder. If you're working off your desktop or your C drive on your computer, you want to save everything there. So I'm going to say Enable Content, but I'm going to go ahead and go File, Save As again. When I go to save the database object, I'm going to come down here into my purple file, and I'm going to say Save As. All objects must be closed prior to opening, and that's okay. And I say I want to save it, and then I'm going to go back to my desktop, back to my Chapter 1 Access, and in here I am going to rename this. I'm going to call it My Video 1. You should call it your last name and put a 1 in front of it too. If you decide to redo this assignment, come back to this raw file, File Save As it again, and call it number 2 in your last name. That way when you're uploading for grading, you'll know exactly which one to look for. I'm going to go ahead and save, and then look, Access again says, are you sure you want to enable content? Yes, we do. Now let's talk a little bit about the ribbon. Over here, we still have Home. We have Create to be able to make tables, queries, forms, and reports in Access. We can go to External Data and import Excel, import a text file, PDF file, or other Access files. Over here in Database Tools, we can make relationships and join tables together to do quick query and question problems. Going back to Home, we then notice we have a navigation bar. Our Events navigation bar is the things that are happening in Access now. We have objects, we have tables, we have reports, and we will see more as we start to work even more with Access and the different things that we can make and put right here on the left side. Now, at this current point in time, we are in what's called a data sheet view. It looks a little like Excel, doesn't it? With our rows and our columns. Here's our rows and our columns. But I'd like you to come over here to the view. If you happen to be working with Access databases and things don't look quite right to your instructions, come over to View and look at the different forms. Very often we're in the wrong form. I'm sorry, we were in a form view. Here is a data sheet view that does also resemble Excel. Here is the layout view where we can move things around and make the form look smoother. And we can come back to the Home tab in View and go into Design View. In Design View, we can actually make formulas and different things to make our query questions have more meaning. So we're going to go back to Home, back to View, and we were in Form View to start Chapter 1.